Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Pedal to the Metal podcast. I'm Chadwick. That's American Mech, and today we have special guest Derrek. Derrek, known as Derrek Bags. Derrek's Bags. Hey, Derrek. Hello, man. Good to have you on. I'm excited
Hey
for this one.
Chadwick, how you
Good,
doing?
good. Uh, yeah. So I've been knowing you on X Twitter for like a while now, maybe a year. I don't know. But what happened was how I found you was I was doing print on demand and I got into this things and print on demand. I found MWW on demand and that was like one of the places where I make my products, like this wall tapestry behind me. I got all over front floor rug here that MWW made, and I was just like looking at who they followed because I like their products are so high quality, and I found that they were following you, so I was like, oh, that's interesting. They followed like 14 people, and you were one of them, and so then I just followed you, and like I found out you were like a real person, and I liked your vibe and stuff, so from there. I found out like a little bit more about you, and I found out like you have spina bifida. Am I saying it right? Spina bifida or
I don't know, fella.
bifida, spina bifida.
Yeah, it's fine, fella.
Okay, yeah, and I thought that you have your own store. You're selling bags, Derrek's Bags being your screen name on X, and you put like so sometimes you might put like a percentage of your sales towards helping like certain causes and stuff. So then it's great to have you on, and we're just gonna wing it here. I don't know how to. I never like we never kind of like prepare ahead of time, but Mech, you got anything to say? Say hello to Derrek, man.
Howdy.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, thank you for coming on, dude.
Cool.
So
So I
it's
in Florida.
It's not bad. It's just Florida. Wish I was in
Okay.
PA, but got a hurricane coming.
yeah. You want to tell them about your how you're preparing for the hurricane? Are you staying for the hurricane? Or are you figuring that out still?
Yeah, we're staying. Well, I don't know if we're staying or not. We might be going to my cousin's place because we just got a storm surge warning, so we might be leaving later. I don't know what we're doing yet.
Yeah, Port Charlotte is right on the east, or yeah, on the west coast of Florida. So it's like right where the hurricane looks like it's gonna hit. What's the name of the hurricane? I forget this one. Do you remember, Derrek? What it's called?
Um, Hurricane
It's not.
Milton.
Yeah, Milton. Yeah, Milton's
Hold
coming.
up.
So that's gonna be crazy. You just went through Helene, and Mech was there for Hurricane Ian. He actually had a trailer that he was staying in, and his whole trailer got flipped, like completely flipped over. So now he's living with his parents right at the moment again. But yeah, hopefully this one looks like it's gonna be bad, but I hope you
Good.
make it through, man. I have hope for you because you've made it
It's
through.
a category 4 instead of a 5, so it's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
I'm used to hurricanes at this point.
yeah. I think you've made it through so many that it's just like another one, and I feel like you'll be good. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you ever gone through a hurricane, Derrek, or anything? Any storms in your lifetime? Derek's kind of. I think I don't know if your audio's on or. Your audio is actually not coming through, Derrek. I guess we should have set this up ahead of time with you, but your audio is not coming through, man. This is why I should have actually like
Uh,
set things up ahead of time. You're kind of coming. You were like breaking up, coming through.
I remember the hour was out.
You're coming in and coming out a little bit.
All right.
Wait. Talk.
Yeah,
Oh.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, Mech. Are you hearing a Mech?
No, that's doing the same thing for me.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Derrek. I don't know. Maybe. Oh man. Well, might be. You might want to maybe if you take off your headphones. I don't know what it could be, but your audio is just like not coming through. I still see you on the screen, but you're just not coming through with the audio. Well, everything's frozen. I can always like stop this
Turn my
recording.
camera
I
off.
can always stop the recording and like restart it once Derrek figures out figures this out, the audio. If I think his whole face is frozen right now. Everything's frozen on his end. Might just have to like leave and come back or exit out of this, and then I send him a call again or something. Yeah.
Those bites.
Here. I'll send him the call on here. No.
Where's he? New York or whatever?
Yeah. I can't figure out. Now his name is gone when I try to select him to join. Man. This is my fault. I should have like set things up ahead of time. This is how we do it, winging it on Discord. Discord always has all these issues. Oh, look, there he is.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that. I don't know what the heck happened.
Yeah, it's just Discord probably. But we're back rolling here.
Yeah.
Mech, you there, dude?
Yep.
I'm muted.
Oh, he's breaking up again. It could be your headphones, man. I don't know. Never know what it is.
Sure.
Yeah, like you'll be able to see when you're talking because there's this green outline that shows up on Discord when you're speaking, so you can see if you're coming in good. I could always give you a call on. Well, I could give him a call and like have him speak through my phone on. I don't know. I could try that or something.
True.
It's because we see him on video, so it must just be his audio. Because, well, I guess he's frozen on video too. It could be the connection that he has. I'm not sure. Mech, do you know? You're the tech guy. What's the issue?
I don't know what the issue is on that one. It might be
Yeah.
his audio.
Well, Do you think I should like edit this so that we edit this part out, or should I just like have it so like this whole part is in where he's like uh in connecting and disconnecting?
Uh, I don't know what to do with that one.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're a Yankees fan. I'm a Phillies fan. No, I'm kidding, but there's
That's how it should be.
yeah. It's because he's wearing a Yankees
Go
hat.
Yankees.
That must be the reason. um, but yeah, so you're thinking about going to your cousins? Where are they located at?
I think we are. Not sure what we're doing yet.
Are they in Florida too, or?
Yeah, they are. They're just higher ground than we are.
Nah, you're still not coming in. Dang. See, he's frozen again on the screen. He's just like sitting there like this. I wonder if he can see like us move and hear me talking right now. He's like, uh, what? Um, hmm. Well, Mech, do you have Twitter? Because we could do this. We could probably do this on Twitter. On because there's a way to do a call on Twitter.
Do I have Twitter?
You do. You made an account. Okay. Hmm.
Twitter. X.com. Twitter.
I just don't
Twitter.com.
know if we can do a three-way on Twitter.
X.com.
It does have like a video
What?
option now. Yeah, it would be twitter.com or x.com.
That's weird. Yeah, Fire Escape. I just use my Google account. Yeah. It doesn't even want to sign in. Use my.
Yeah, we might be able to do it on there. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
oh, he's downloading it on his phone to see if it's better. Okay. All right. Well, that'll probably work better because that's what Jake does. Let's just like keep this one rolling, I guess, because we're already here. Shit.
It's better on the phone sometimes, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like I have my whole Discord showing like all my everything, all my stuff and everything. Oh, it's funny. Everyone can see like all of my groups that I'm in right now. It's on the podcast, but yeah, we'll get him back in here, and we're gonna talk about Spina Bifida, and I think I said that right this time. There he is.
Whatever the
That was
heck that
fast.
is.
Hey,
Hey, can you guys hear me?
yeah, you're good now.
Yep.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're much better.
Way
Everything's
better.
good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened with my I guess doesn't work too good with Discord for some reason.
Yeah, actually, it's a Mech. What are you doing? You gonna be back on camera, dude?
I'll turn it back on in a little bit.
All right, he's all right. Well, you're here. I kept it rolling. I don't know. I just kept it rolling. We just kept talking. Uh,
Dang good.
I'm gonna edit out some good parts, I guess, or something. That's usually what I do. Uh, yeah,
Okay. All right.
showing off the realness. We got the problems. Always issues with Discord. Yeah, man, we're glad to have you
Yeah,
on.
this is my first time using it,
Yeah,
so
yeah, but yeah. So there, do you want to start talking about Spina Bifida a little bit? Am I saying it right?
sure. So Spina Bifida,
Bifida.
October is Spina Bifida Awareness Month, and what Spina Bifida is, when a baby is developing in the mother's womb, the spinal cord, it doesn't form right, and there's three forms of it: occulta, meningeal, and myelomeningocele. And I was born with the myelomeningocele, the most severe form. And what happened was, I was born with a sac on my lower back, and spinal part of the spinal cord and some nerves were exposed. So my first surgery was to get that all fixed up, and yeah, so uh, don't have much feeling from my knees on down, and I have to walk with wearing AFO leg braces, and also I use a cane when out in public to walk. But right now, since December, I haven't been late since December. I haven't been walking because make a long story short, I had a wound on my foot that I was self medicating, and a flesh eating bacteria got into the wound. And December 30th, 2023, I went to the hospital, found out I had sepsis. I was told that if I waited a few more hours, I would have died. And I had two surgeries on my right foot to remove the flesh eating bacteria. Was in the hospital down in the Bronx for a couple weeks, and then was in a nursing home for about a month, a little over a month. That was an experience. Never want to be in a nursing home again. So been going to wound care since late February. Get the uh, get the wounds on my foot healed. Um, was doing hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy, where I was in like a chamber, like a tube,
Yeah.
and 2 hour. That was 2 hours. Once 5 days a week.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was an experience too. I'm
Yeah.
still going to wound care for a wound on my heel, actually same spot that I got again. So still dealing with medical stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good story, and I'll share something that I'm going through right now. I believe I have got Lyme disease for the second time, which is also like it comes from deer ticks.
Yep.
I'm currently on antibiotics right now, so like I can't be outside in the sun during the day. But so like I've actually had it back in 2020. I got it for the first time, and like what
Right.
happened was I had like rashes all over my body, and like my finger was like really numb, and I didn't know like what it was, and like I went to the doctor and they knew right away because I'm in an area where it's like really high with Lyme disease. And then,
Right.
well, I can talk more about this time than I remember of that time, but like this time I was like having a lot of like twitching in my arm, and like then I have like twitching like all throughout my body, like just different twitches going on, and like I wake up a lot of mornings where like my arm is like numb. Like one morning I woke up like I couldn't, like my whole arm. I was like I couldn't move it. I was like I had to shake it out to get my arm moving again. So like a lot that
Oh,
only took like a few minutes to get my arm back, and then um just like different things going on. But I tested negative for Lyme this time, but so like
right,
the tests aren't always accurate. So like I'm hope like if it is, I don't know. It could be something else. It's like a little bit like concerning, but it's like we're all going through things, and I think like one of the things you post on X all the time is like be nice and kind to others because you never know what they're going through. So like that kind of
right.
that kind of is something that I kind of say all the time now because it's true. You never know what someone's going through. But
No,
um,
I'm sorry to hear that you're
yeah,
going through that.
it's okay. Last time I took antibiotics and I was cured, and I'm hoping that's what happens this time. But it's one of those diseases that's got so many different things to it, like so many different symptoms, and like you know, it's I hope I don't know, but same with you. You're going through your foot thing. I'm sure you're like you we want to figure that out and get that finished. Like what all that is going on with you too. So we're both going through
Right.
stuff, and I mean. Mex over there. You still there? What do you think about all this that we're talking about?
That just sucks.
Yeah.
Lyme disease.
Yeah, what do you think about what Derrek's going through? Do you anything there catch your attention, man?
Sucks what he has, however you pronounce it.
I think I'll
I
try
could
to say
imagine
it.
not walking.
Spina
I got
Bifida.
fucked up knees as is. I can't even do half the jobs I want to do. But
Yeah,
that is what it is.
You brought up how you have knee problems and you're in the podcast before as well, so it's like your legs struggle a little bit, but yeah, man, thank you for coming on and sharing. Like, this is what I wanted to like have with the podcast. It's cool. Like, we're learning something, and like, this is something that's bringing awareness. Even if we reach like one person and one person hears about it, and then they tell somebody else, like, and like, it's like just kind of like spreading the word about like all these different things, and it's Spina Bifida. You said it is. I'm bad with. I forget people's names, but like
It's all right. Spina bifida.
Spina Bifida. Spina Bifida. I gotta say it right by the end of the podcast, so I know for how to say it going forward. But yeah, you were born with it, and you had something in your back, and you had surgery for that. Something was taken out of your back. Is that
What it wasn't taken out. It was actually put back in.
okay?
The part of my spine, and then like some of the nerves that were exposed. They had to put that back in my back too. From what I understand, so had that done. And then had several other surgeries too. Another thing, when I was born too, there was fluid around my brain, and I had to have a shunt put in, and to get the fluid to drain from my brain. Had that done. I still that have that in my body, but that hasn't worked since I was like 13, but thankfully I have never had to have it replaced. Had a couple surgeries, two surgeries per foot, on my feet, and then I had another surgery on my back in 2010, to detether my spine. I was having a lot of back. Uh, Not the pain you want. I wouldn't wish it on my own worst enemy. That was really painful. But yeah. And going back to different types of spina bifida, the occulta, the rarest form, like people could be like in their 30s or 40s and don't even realize they have it until like some medical issue comes up, and then the doctor will go and say, "Oh yeah, you got spina bifida."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you were.
Once I have it, I don't even know it.
Yeah, I think I
I'm
was like
ridiculous.
reading a little bit about it. I wanted to hear from you firsthand and like hear about it from somebody who's actually experienced it, so I could hear like the truth about it. Because I feel like you're very aware of all of the different types and everything, and it does like some people might think like Mech just mentioned, like they might think they have it, but they don't, or they might have it and they don't think they have it. It's the same with Lyme disease though. It's the same exact thing kind of concept for that, and that's occult. You said for that one, that's like the one uh, that you can have and you don't know. That was like the questionable one, I guess. But you have the one where it's like you know right away because they were able to see it, like with a scan, like a scan or something. This like right out. How did they know like before you were born, or was it like
Oh,
no, usually, they doctors know before babies are born with the scan, and with the scientific advancements now, what doctors can do now is go and perform surgeries on the baby's backs, on the spine, so they have less of an injury and less problems after they're born. Um, but in my case, my parents, and I don't blame them.
mm-hmm.
They didn't want to know. They knew. My mom knew, and my dad knew that they were expecting me, but they didn't want to know if I was going to be a boy or a girl, and so they they were like shocked to they were shocked, and thankful was a pediatrician in the room, or like the next room at the hospital, and the pediatrician knew right away that
Yeah.
I had spina bifida, so they had to rush me down to another hospital
Yeah.
to perform the surgery.
Yeah, and that's it's considered a disease. Am I right to call it a disease, or is that correct? Or
Yeah, like either way, like P, I've read like sometimes people call it disease, some people call it an illness, some people call it birth defect. So yeah, anyway, really.
hmm and it's rare in the population. So is from what I understand, correct? It's like there's three of them, and the one that
Right.
you have, and but are they all three of them are probably rare, and one of it's like the one that you have might be more rare. Like, do you have like understanding of like that kind of stuff, or
I don't have understanding of that kind of stuff,
yeah,
but from what I understand, I recently found out about this because my dad, he actually, for another issue, excuse me, he has an issue with his left foot. Um, he went to go see my neurosurgeon, and they were talking about spina bifida, and my neurosurgeon said that I forget the past how many years now, but he has been doing surgeries on less and less babies born with spina bifida. I looked it up. Uh, for every out of 166 babies born in America, one is born with spina bifida nowadays.
That's actually like a lot of that's I mean that's a high percentage in my opinion. One out of 166 is still a pretty high percentage, and I think so. Yeah, it's more.
Yeah, 66,000. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
66,000. Okay. That's a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, it got lower. From what I understand, uh, when I was born in 1990, it was like like 100 out of 300,000, something like that. I'd have to look up the
Mm.
statistics again, but it was more when I was born.
Yeah, the crazy part though is even with that small percentage that like the person you said, I think you said it was a nutritionist or the person in the hospital that knew, was that right? A nutritionist or
Yeah, the pediatrician knew right
pediatrician?
away.
Yeah, pediatrician knew right away. That's what are the odds that would what are the odds? That's that he would know that. That's crazy. I mean, that's just part of like what are the odds, you know? But
It definitely was crazy, and thankfully he was there and he knew right away. So yeah, thankfully he was there, and the hospital that I was transferred down to have my first surgery done. Um, they had until I was about 13 or 14 years old, they had a spina bifida clinic. So, so they every year they had doctors got together, and then all these people that were born with spina bifida, including me, they would go down to one of the hospitals down in Westchester County, and they were able to see their doctors. So I was lucky then.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so you were born with it, and so you never had like growing up. You've always had. You said from your knee down, or was it where? Yeah, so you've always just like it's just become a part of your lifestyle, and you like this. You know what you can do, and I feel like you're probably like good with your hands and arms in ways that people like myself might not be because like you're so used to knowing how to use them for different things. I don't know. That could be. Am I right on that? Is that it's like if you learn how to do certain.
yeah, I learned growing up. Growing up, I learned my limitations. Well, I had to learn them. I had to learn what I couldn't do. Um, I was still one of those kids, that would be like trying to test out to see what I couldn't do. But yeah, growing up, I definitely realized what I could and couldn't do. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever get picked on or anything like that? By did you ever feel like that? No.
Um, I remember there was in sixth grade, there was this one girl in one of my classes. I remember she picked on me a little bit. That stopped after a while. And then there was one time, I remember there was one time I got tripped on purpose. But other than that, I wasn't really picked on. Other than that, I was mostly a loner, so unless somebody saw my leg braces, they wouldn't know like something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say something was wrong,
Yeah.
but they didn't see me stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I wasn't really picked on, thankfully. So that
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah. that's good. I mean, so you have, I think you said that you have like a catheter that you carry in your bags, and that's why you
Yeah.
have the bags.
Yeah, so I carry to when I go to the bathroom sometimes I use catheters, and a lot of people with spina bifida uh do the same thing. So and growing up I had different types of bags. When I go out in public, I would carry around catheters and put them in a bag. So back in 2021, I was actually cleaning my apartment, cleaning my kitchen right here, and the bag I had at the time, I looked at it and I was like, I could start a business. I could start a business selling bags for people to put catheters and other medical equipment in. So I I knew about Etsy already, and about March of 2021, I uh, opened my Etsy shop and started Derrek's Bags.
Yep. Uh, what is a catheter? If,
It's like there's different types, but um the one I use, it's just like a tube that you stick in, and supposed to it gets all the urine out. I can actually I'll show it. Hold on one second. I'll get one out of my bag right now. I'll show you guys.
if you want to show your bag too.
Yes, I got it right here. So,
Oh, Mech just go. Oh, there's Mech.
all right. So, hold on one second. I'll put my right here. So, this is actually one of my latest bags in my Etsy shop. It says Spina Bifida Warrior. I actually back in, what was it? I want to say May, April or May. I started making designs with that saying, "Proud Spina Bifida Warrior," "Proud Mom of a Spina Bifida Warrior," and "Proud Dad of a Spina Bifida Warrior." It didn't have that blue teal. Had the design I made, it had a yellow teal, and I do sell that in my Etsy shop too. But back, I got in contact. It was about May, May or June. I got in contact with one of the chapters of the Spina Bifida Association here in New York State, and I found out they were having an event which happened this past Saturday. So I emailed them asking if I could be a sponsor, and I found out they were having an event, and I went there and sold some bags, and hopefully a couple people wanted some custom bags, so hopefully I'll hear back from them. So yeah.
Yeah, creating cool designs is fun. How do you create your designs for your bags?
I just anything. I'm like inspired by like anything like I'll like see in the news or like see when I'm out in public or something, and then I'll just I'll try to remember it and I'll use Photoshop
Yeah,
and create the design in there.
nice.
I've been trying to. I've been wanting to jump into like AI a little bit because
That's
I've been reading and seeing that a lot of the AI has been getting a lot better with like videos and pictures and stuff. So maybe one day
for sure.
soon I'll get into that as well.
Yeah, as a Photoshop person, man, it's like it does all the work for you when you just type in what you want. But it's also like some people say it takes away the creativity and stuff. It's whatever. I think it's good. It like depends on a lot of things. But I was gonna ask you about the ribbon color on your bag. You said you had yellow and then you changed it to blue. Why did you? What is the blue? The light blue like a symbolism of something? Is that?
It's for the Spina Bifida Association. There's National Spina Bifida Association, and here in New York, there's the spot. I don't know if there's any down the city, but upstate, past Albany, there's a Spina Bifida Association in New York State. So when I was talking to them about selling bags at the event I was at the other day, they asked me, "Oh, can you use teal for the ribbon color?" I said, "Sure." So I just found a teal ribbon from their logo and just made the ribbon color that way. But I'm still selling bags with the yellow ribbon on instead too, because
Hmm.
when I was making the designs, I looked to see, okay, what's the color, what's the ribbon color for Spina Bifida
Hmm.
awareness and stuff, and I found yellow. I found out it was yellow, so I was like, all right,
Yeah.
fine. But so I still have those two designs on bags I'm selling.
Yeah,
So
when I see the yellow ribbon, a lot of times what I think of right away is cancer off the top. It's just like something. It's like the first thing that I think of right away. So having the light blue is interesting. Something to represent. Spina bifida. Spina bifida. Am I saying it right yet? No, spina
yeah,
bifida.
you both got it.
Spina bifida.
Got it.
Yes. Okay. Spina bifida. Thank you. I just want to make sure get that down. All right, but thank you for sharing and like all of this. Um, yeah. So just like your journey, man. And I don't know. This is a podcast, and like we're just it's just like I talk. I don't know what to say. Just coming in, and like we'd love to have you on. Like in the future, we have Mech there. He's not even on video today. I think just because he's got a lot going on right now with the hurricane and stuff. And our buddy Jake comes on, but dude, I feel like I have a lot of like questions, and hammering down on you too much is like asking you question after question. It might be we could go into all kinds of topics. Like spina bifida is a great like way to like talk. Great thing to talk about because I'm learning something. I like documentaries. I like listening to like learning about different things and things that are going on. So this is like a special podcast for me. Just getting a one-on-one learning lesson from a teacher here. You're basically like a teacher to me. And I can ask you, I don't have to raise my hand. I'm like, I'm not paying for this class. It's like a free class. So, yeah, man,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
right.
Mecca,
No, I'm enjoying this, and if you got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
yeah, we've been at this podcast for like a year at this point, and like you're our third guest on, and probably the one that's given out like the most value in terms of like something new and informing. But I think you're gonna show your catheter. I don't know. Did you show that
Oh
already?
yeah, yeah. So this is the casing of it, and the packaging it comes in, and so and this is the cat. This is the catheter here. Um, yeah. So gotta stick this in when go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, there are different sizes. There are bigger sizes. There's different kinds. Um, from what I've seen, from the provider that I get, the medical provider I get catheters through, and through a couple other providers too. There's condom catheters, and then there's what's the other one? There's what's called a Foley catheter, where stick it in, and then there's like a balloon at the end of the tip of it, and then like the balloon is supposed to like expand in the bladder. I had that one time. Oh, I want to say 2012, 2013. I got a I didn't realize it. I got a bladder stone in me. That was one of the worst pains I ever felt. I was actually in Rhode Island on vacation with my parents at the time, and I I had some pain on my right side, and it didn't go away. And then it was like mid afternoon, late afternoon. And then the next morning, I was in so much pain. I asked my dad to take me to the hospital, and they thought it was like the doctor thought it was gas or something like that. I forget now, but they didn't think like a bladder stone or a kidney stone. So yeah. And then a few months later, December, I had a test done on my bladder for something I forget, and come to find out had the bladder stone in me, and woke up with a Foley catheter in me, and I was like, "What the heck's going on here?" Found out they had to remove the bladder stone, and yeah, had that in for about a week or so. That was no fun.
Yeah, I've heard pain stories of that from other people. Unfortunately, I've yet to have one of those, but I think like a lot of people get those. It's very common for men to get those. So yeah, man, it's another painful experience right there.
Yeah.
Your foot. Yeah. Mech, how you doing over there? You back on video?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Don't have much to talk about.
You enjoying this? Listening the whole time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Um, yeah. Next question that I would have, if I have a question. Do you have any questions, Derek? Like, do you have any questions? I don't know, just like fun. Do you have
Uh,
anything that you want to talk about in
mm.
general?
so yeah, I have a question. How did you start? Since we're talking about business a little bit, how did you start your business?
Uh, yeah, like print on demand. How I got into it? Well, that's that's I've had multiple businesses through the year, but at this point, like print on demand has been kind of my thing that I've gotten into. And how that started was with these like aliens behind me, this alien visitor 751. Well, I
Right.
already knew about print on demand like many years ago. I tried it just like with some of my own designs, but like I didn't really get into it because I didn't make any sales. So I was like, I got like, okay, this is stupid. I'm not making any sales. It's not working. But then like I realized my designs were kind of not the greatest either back then. And then I came across this project with these aliens by Mike Mitchell. He's an artist based in Austin, Texas, and it's like
Okay.
an NFT project. And he's got all these aliens like that. If you purchase one of his alien NFTs, he gives you commercial rights to all of these different aliens. And I started thinking like, oh, that's a cool design. So I started putting them up on all of these like Printify products. Printify is like I know you and I think you know what Printify is, but for people who
Oh
don't know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
I
yeah,
actually I have an account on there because MW. Not that I'm not knocking MD.
yeah,
I'm not knocking MWW on demand. I'm not,
yeah,
but with the way how their website is a little bit, I got tired of how to like with the mock-ups and stuff, like putting designs on
uh,
bags.
yeah,
It got really like their website got laggy and stuff. They need to do
yeah,
better on their website.
100%.
Um, but Printify, I definitely have been using them. They're much better with
Yeah, same.
getting designs on
Yeah,
products and
yeah.
stuff.
It's like 2 clicks and you're done with Printify. Whereas with
Right.
MWW on demand, you have to get the sizing right. And like I used MWW on demand as well because I was thinking like what if Printify shuts me down? Then there goes everything because anything can happen. Like uh, I think you made an Instagram account and your Instagram account got shut down right away. You never know when you're gonna get shut down on a platform. So putting your eggs in different baskets is important. When there's MWW on demand has a direct link with Shopify. So I have a Shopify store, which is what I do like with these designs and everything that I'm doing. And I like tried out they have like a special MWW page and they have the same thing where like they have their mock-ups and you do it through MWW. But I
Uh,
found that I tried to like go on their website and on the MWW website multiple times. I don't even know how you were able to like get on there and put your designs on there because every time I've gone on there, it's like they like one time I went on there, it's like they said like they've been like hacked or something and that they were like shut down and
something
not,
like
like
that.
and like they consistently are posting products on X.com and on their LinkedIn and stuff, like saying like they have like nice clothing products and like all this like summer wear. And I contact them. I'm like, how do I get access to this stuff that you're sharing that you have? And they never answer back. So it's like I want to put designs on these cool products that they have, but do they even have them? Like, do they even exist? I'm getting no contact. But every product I've gotten from them through Printify, like this wall tapestry, look how big and beautiful this came out with the colors and everything, and the
It
bags.
is
Yeah,
very cool.
so they're making the products right, but it's just like it's tough to work with them. I guess is a one on one is what I found. Uh,
Yeah, they're what not again not to knock them,
yeah,
but
exactly.
definitely their customer service could be a little
Yeah,
bit better, and um, their website definitely could be updated a little bit.
yeah. And I'm proud to have them because like they've been in the USA. I was reading about them since like 1932, and they assemble the products and they print them in the USA, which is like that's putting manufacturing back in our country and building up our economy and everything. So hey, that's
Right.
just a hit on the chin there. But yeah, it's the
Yeah.
customer service. We're saying it, MWW. I'm sure you're not listening, but
Yeah,
uh,
lucky you bastards. You guys have a business, not just work.
yeah, I could I could go on about print on demand stuff for a while though. I don't know what we'll have to do. I'd like to have you on more podcasts, Mech and Jake and all of us on more and talk more because like we each time we have on if that's something that you're interested in. Um,
Oh yeah, I'm definitely interested in coming back on. Oh yeah.
because I don't know, like I don't know that we're gonna say everything here. That's we have so much fun. I feel like just like doing these and like meeting different people. But yeah, man, I'm glad to have this here and have this going. Do you have anything that you want to like bring up about Spina Bifida? You want to like anything? Spina Bifida, Bifida, Spina Bifida. So
Um, Frank. Yeah, just that October is Spina Bifida Awareness Month. I was actually reading that I was actually reading the other day, back in what was it, 84, I think they made it October Spina Bifida Awareness Month. And yeah, trying to think what else to say about it. Uh
Oh well, I guess I could ask you: have you been on a lot? I've seen that you've done other podcasts. I've personally chosen to skip listening to them because I wanted to have you on this podcast. So like I was hoping, and it finally came true that I had you on this one, so I could hear from you versus listening to the other ones. And then like I'd already kind of know what you were gonna say ahead of time, and like this made it more like, oh, it's exciting because like this is the first time I get to hear everything.
right.
How have the other podcasts been going that you're on? Like, how have those gone?
They were pretty good. That they were pretty good. That was more. I not to knock them. I'm not. It was more just a little bit more about my more so of talking about my business
Mm-hmm.
more. So I'm glad to be on here and talk more about Spina Bifida compared to more about my business.
Yeah, we can go anywhere here. We can talk about the hurricanes. We can talk about like, it's half the time we're having to like, who knows? We're just like drinking a beer sometimes, and we're on here just like chilling, having fun. Yeah, it's good to have all three of us here. Mech, do you have
Yeah,
anything
I'm
you want
glad
to?
to be here.
I'm kind of like I'm kind of like just like came up with this idea of doing a podcast. I used to do podcasts by myself a lot. Like I would just sit in like my car with my phone and like just talk to myself. And then like I met Mech through some mutual friends of ours, and like all of a sudden somehow we just started talking on the phone a lot, and I realized it's like, Mech, you're good at talking, and like you just keep going and going. So I was like, how about you join me in this podcast thing? And it's like way better to have like somebody on the podcast with you than just doing it by yourself. So I'm like glad to have him here. He's actually a better podcaster than me. I found out over the past year. He's like the king of the potting, but it's good to like
Okay. Yeah, I don't know
go.
about the king.
It's true. He's pretty good. Today's taking a bit more of a chill mode, which is like out of the ordinary. Which is like, but we're doing a different time frame today too. Usually we tend to do these like later at night, so I think
Uh,
different time frame can cause a different uh, thing maybe. But
right. Plus too, you got a hurricane to worry about
yeah,
too.
yeah,
I'm not worried about it. Last one was worse. When we were going on I-75 and there was just floods everywhere. And when I was trying to get off of some places, there was just water everywhere. Like the storm surges were just like too high. You couldn't even get off the bridge.
Ugh.
Like that ridiculous. Like we couldn't even get off. Like floods, houses were destroyed from it. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh boy.
Storm surges can be scary.
I bet.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw the storm surges are going to be pretty bad for this hurricane too.
Yeah. So I think we're probably gonna go to my cousin's house, but I'm not sure what we're doing yet.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
Uh,
the storm's coming today, isn't it? Like tonight. Uh,
technically starts tonight.
okay. Well,
Well, it starts like kind of tonight, around like 11ish. It just ramps up the wind and whatnot.
well, guess you're like me. You wait till last minute to make the big decisions. So do everything last second. Do I need to get out of here? Better get out now. But
Yeah, I would be different. I'm more like oh no, I'm sometimes like relaxed, but like something like that, I'd be out. I'd be out. It would be long gone.
for sure. Mech's face after you said that. He's like,
You get used to hurricanes after what you've seen, and then my RV gets destroyed, and then yeah,
Mm.
now I'm here with my parents.
Okay.
So we
looks pretty nice out right now where he's at. Just
Yeah,
kind
it
of,
does. Yeah, it does. It's
not
pretty
living
nice.
on my own anymore. Now I'm having a hard time finding a job.
Uh,
yeah. Well,
yeah, it's pretty nice out today too. Here, it's supposed to get more like fall weather. I saw.
yeah, same. It looks beautiful here, except for I can't. I'm on antibiotics. I can't go outside, but it looks really nice out.
Yeah,
Like, um,
yeah.
Yeah, it's
My
like 70
grandmother,
something degrees here.
she had Lyme disease a
yeah,
lot, and she she would be outside a lot, and for some reason the ticks were the ticks would just go after her,
yeah,
and she would get Lyme disease a lot. She would feel tired. I remember one time, with the antibiotic, she had to have an IV antibiotic, and I remember that a few years ago.
yeah. I was reading about that, the IV ones, and I was reading about everything about it. But it's like, I think, I agree with her. There's certain people that are the ticks just attack, and other people they ticks leave alone, and I'm one of them for some reason because I've had so many ticks on me where like half the time I'll pull them out of me. I don't know how long they're in me, but nothing happens to me. So I'm just like I'm not even gonna go to the doctor and worry about it. This time I did have a rash, and I had like a round rash right above my genital area, and it was kind of like hidden in there in the hair. It's like what else could have gotten in there in that area, and it was like a bit bigger than a quarter, and the size of the rash, but it didn't itch and it wasn't painful. I didn't think anything of it, but like 2 months later, I'm having all of these issues that seem to like line up with like Lyme disease issues. So first, I
Right,
went to the doctor. The doctor thought I was deficient in possibly. Well, I went to multiple doctors, and the first one I went to, he thought I was deficient in electrolytes. So I went to another one, and I got my all my blood tests taken. They came back all good, and it wasn't electrolytes. So I'm thinking like, what else could it be? And then I remembered I had this photo on my phone, August 9th. I took a picture of the rash, and I was like, wait a minute here. I've had all these symptoms since then. Might have like I went to the other doctor and I was like, "Hey, can I get some? I think this might be Lyme. Can I get doxycycline?" And she was like, "Well, I can't say it's Lyme, but I can. Do you want me to treat you for it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she was like, "Okay, I'll give you 10 days of doxycycline." And I'm like, "Well, look, I'm already. It started. I'm past the first phase. I'm having neurological issues right now with between like all of my like everything that's going on. It's in for
right,
the first stage, like if you treat it with 10 to 14 days of doxycycline, that can make the everything go away. But I'm kind of at a later stage, is what I'm thinking. So I'm like, can I get 21 to 28 days, which is recommended for like the later stage from what I've read? And she said, well, we used to give out 21 days, but now we follow these new CDC guidelines, and I'm only able to give you 14 days. This is like a not my primary care doctor, but like another doctor, and like an
right.
urgent care doctor, and like that's their rule now. The first time when I had Lyme disease, I went to urgent care and they gave me 21 days, but now they've changed
Oh
it because the
wow.
new CDC rules came into play, and that's what she told me. At least I don't know if it's like, I don't know what's true half the time with like what doctors are able to do and what they're not able to do, but I'm gonna I'm thinking it's Lyme. All the symptoms add up that it's Lyme to me. I tested negative for Lyme though, but this is like, I already had tested positive for Lyme the first time I had it. So
Right.
since this is the second time I'm having it, and they knew I had it once, they run a different type of test than the first test because I still have antibodies from the first type of test. So if they ran the first type of test again, it would come up positive for Lyme guaranteed. So they ran a whole different type of test this time, and it came out negative. But it's just this. It's like you're going through this with your foot. You know, I think what you say like, okay, what's
Yeah,
going on?
and plus too, another thing with spina bifida. Sometimes, not everybody, but a lot of times, people with spina bifida they get recurrent bladder infections. So, gotta deal with them too. So, I understand how you feel with antibiotics. It's not great being on antibiotics all
Not
the
great.
time.
No, but yeah, I'm just gonna deal with it and hope for the best. You know, like I see like people out there that are fighting, people who've been to war and they're like missing like every part of their body, like going to the gym on their hands, like doing pull ups, their whole body, like they're missing their legs. They don't even have legs. They're just
Right,
like seeing that. It's like, how can I ever like give up when there's people out there that are just pushing so hard and fighting?
right.
So man, but did, have you met a lot of people that have got? Have you met a lot of people in your situation with spina bifida, and like connected?
Um, Not. I met a few people the other day, of course. Then there's been a few people when at the spina bifida clinic that I went to years ago. There was a few people there. On Facebook, I'm Facebook friends with somebody that lives locally that has spina bifida. I was kind of friends with her. Uh, well, more friendly with her in like real life. Um, but other than that, not really. No.
Hmm. You did meet a couple people though the other day at the thing that they in New York. You said it was this.
Yeah, yeah, I did. There was this one guy. I think lived down Long Island. He works down there. Couple other people. Um, and then there was this one kid, about maybe 6 or 7, talked with, didn't talk to him, but talked with his parents a little bit, talked to a mother who recently had a baby that was born with spina bifida. Um, so yeah, talked with her a little bit too. So yeah.
How did that all go? Did you feel like you had some conversations like where you might have been able to explain some things or like learn some things or
And
or yeah,
not really like learn some things, but uh, uh, the one mother I talked to who recently had a baby that was born with spina bifida, she was asked, she was more like amazed. Um, I have the business I have, and then she was asking me where I live, and then she was asking me if I live alone. And then she was more amazed
yeah,
with that stuff too. Because I think um a lot of I don't know how they are really now because I didn't really get into that like conceptions or like misconceptions. But I know when I was younger, when I was born, I feel like the doctors that my parents talked to, they were fake. My parents got this idea that I was gonna be living with them like
Mhm.
pretty much all my life. So the woman I talked to that had the baby with spina bifida, I think she was kind of like more
Yeah.
amazed with like, oh my god, like maybe
Yeah.
my kid's gonna
Look at
turn
you.
out to be like you. Like
Yeah.
I won't have to worry about him that much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And another thing about spina bifida too, I found out I just turned 34 last week. And when I was in the hospital, there was this one nurse. I got talking to her about spina bifida, and she told me that when she was in medical school, uh, they don't teach. She was taught that spina bifida is a pediatric problem, and adult there's it's not an adult problem. So I don't know what the heck's wrong with the medical schools in this
Yeah.
country, but
Yeah.
need, need to start learning about
Yeah.
need to start teaching that there's adults with spina bifida
Yeah.
because like come on here,
I know.
we're in 2024, we're going to be in 2025 in a few months here.
Yeah, I think I can understand what you're talking about with some of these people in the medical industry and like what are the yeah like but like I get it. It's like certain people specialize in certain things, but at the same time, it's like why are you if you're specialized in that? Why are you talking about this? Like, it's just a lot of like I think there's a lot of people that have lost trust in our system of health these days, and I can
Oh yeah.
understand. I can definitely understand why on some scenarios for sure. Uh,
Oh yeah. The when I turned 18, when I had to go find new doctors. Um, it was hard a little bit because then I had to ask them like, "Do you really know about spina
yeah,
bifida?" And then once they said yes, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna trust you on that."
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
because it was hard. It was definitely hard. A little bit finding doctors,
yeah.
new set of doctors.
Were there any that you felt like they said yes, whereas is like you learned as you got to know them, it was actually like they probably should have said no, or was it?
Yeah. I'm not gonna name names,
Yeah, yeah,
but
don't.
um, one of my doctors, one of my old doctors, I felt like he was just saying yes because I asked him, "Do you know anything about spina bifida? Do you know about spina bifida?" He immediately said yes. So then it just felt like after a while, like this guy, like he's good, but like, did you really BS me here?
Yeah,
Um, but
I think
he was good. I left his practice. Not so much, a little bit because of him. Not his personality. He was good personality wise. Um, it was just more like I just felt like anything I had a problem with, it was like couldn't get through to him. Trouble with his office. So Yeah, I just left his practice and found somebody else, and thankfully he's a little bit better. So
Yeah,
the new doctor, one of the new doctors.
yeah, yeah. I feel like it's important to like, you have that kind of feeling for sure. Like even if it's like just like being able to communicate and like knowing that it's like knowing like that vibe, getting that vibe is important.
Right,
So, um,
right,
so yeah, man. Dang. It's a whole thing. I was talking to somebody from India the other day. He was telling me about their medical system out there and how everything's completely different. I guess it's he said it's like considered socialist out there or whatever. But you can like it's like you just go to they don't keep track like here in the U.S. Like they'll keep track of like your medical history and stuff, whereas in like India,
right.
you just get if you go to one hospital or doctor, they the only way that if you go to another one that they're going to know anything about that past transaction or history is like you'd have to bring like a card with you or something. Like they don't keep it in their like um in their system. And
Okay.
a lot of things how it works out there is different. For example, he was explaining to me antibiotics. You can just go to the pharmacy and tell them you want antibiotics without having to get a prescription to them. So I was like,
What?
yeah. So I was thinking like, well, that's what I'd like. I was thinking like, I mean, I get it. It's ridiculous, the differences and stuff. That's what he told me. I mean, I think he was telling the truth, and I think that's how China does it. China does the same thing with antibiotics as well. I think just like being able to go and get probably a lot of
In
other
a
things.
way, I get why I get why in this country how you gotta go to the doctor to get an antibiotic
Mhm.
or some other like drug. So I get
Yeah,
it,
me too.
but damn, why? I wish it was like that in
Yeah,
this country with the
yeah,
way I get bladder infections. Oh my god, I'd stock up. Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah, it's parts of like I think South America, China, and India. It's all like that for antibiotics. I'm sure a lot of there's other drugs as well that it's just like go in, tell them what you want. But imagine how if you. I think I feel like we're educated. Everybody feels like they're educated, right? Everybody thinks they're the smartest.
Right.
Everybody thinks they're the smartest person, but really I'm stupid. I know I'm stupid. Like when it comes to things, but yeah, there's definitely like I think like if antibiotics, if anybody could just go get them, yeah, people would just go get them for anything, for everything and anything. So that could cause big issues.
Um,
So I can understand going to the doctor as well for things. Get it? Uh,
yeah, yeah, because I've been reading a little bit lately. Um, there's a not I don't want to call it pandemic, but a lot of antibiotics are people are getting resistant to. So in a way, I could get why we don't have a thing like they do over in India where anybody could just go into a store or whatever and get an antibiotic. So I get that.
mm,
Um, but yeah, that's just crazy.
right.
Um, but I did see, for like example, like I got urinary tract infections a lot. I did see there was a about 2 3 weeks ago I saw there was a article where now people it's in trial still, but there some drug company, they are coming out with a uh, urinary tract infection vaccine where you could just go whenever they come out with it. If they come out with it, just go get it, and then like people that have been going through the trials, um, they've only had like one urinary tract infection a year. So like, sign me up for
Yeah,
that. Oh
compared
my
to
God.
I've had a urinary tract infection before in my lifetime, but not consistently. So I don't know.
Never had one.
Yeah,
Oh, you're lucky. It's not any fun. It's not fun.
for sure.
It's definitely not fun having with the pain and everything. Not fun at all.
Yeah, it's, yeah. It's I like the new thing, the right to try. I think that's a great thing that happened in our like for people like last. It's just like if you have some kind of like deadly disease or something, and like if you need nothing else is working, you can try something now. It's like you can at least try it and like see if it works. I really like that happened. Um, yeah, I think just
Yeah, I haven't really read up on that too much, so
yeah.
I don't really have an opinion about that.
Yeah, me neither. It's just like I heard about it. It's like people who are like dying from something they have the right to try. It's like that sounds good. So,
Okay.
uh, yeah, other countries how it works is ridiculous. It's like India. I'm trying to think like what else he said about India. It's like uh, oh, he said like there's private and there's common like the hospitals there. The most of the hospitals are India are pretty good, apparently. And anybody you can be anybody and anybody. You can be a very poor person, very rich person. You go to the hospital and they're gonna treat you the same way and take care of you. And you walk in and the hospital's good and everything, and they're all clean now. All the hospitals he said are pretty clean out there as well. And there's like hospitals all around. Like if you're walking, like you're gonna walk by one. Like there's just like they're apparently like everywhere. It's like more than the U.S. And then there's private ones and there's regular ones, but the private ones you have to pay for, which he came from a bit more of an affluent area, so he went to the private ones. And what he did was he told me though the private ones are a little risky because sometimes the doctors there are trying to make. He told me they're trying to make money. For example, sometimes if you're going to have a regular pregnancy, he gave an example of if you were about to have a regular pregnancy and everything was going to go good, the doctor at the private one might say, "Well, you have this issue. You need to do this thing so they can make some extra money off of you." And that sounded a little bit. It's like here in the U.S. we have private insurances, and like I don't know like what the best like. It's listening to the two. It's like I'm agreeing with him on some things, and I'm also like thinking like private's good on other things. Uh,
Right.
I don't know. Do you have any input on that, like private insurance, like how we have different insurances here? No.
Um, like I do have private insurance.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Um, but and but at the same time, I do think like public insurance through the government.
Uh,
I think that's good as well. I mean, people do need it. I mean, I got a relative. One of my dad's cousins. She didn't have insurance, and she was able to when Obamacare came out. Um, she was able to sign up for that, and she got pretty good. She got pretty good insurance with that coverage and stuff. But I was recently reading uh, though that up in Canada with the country run insurance to see like a specialist, it took like I want to say like 6 months or some crazy number, and it's like what the heck. That I don't know. Like to me, like you're gonna have that. You gotta do better. You definitely gotta do better.
Yeah, that's actually something that this Indian person I was talking to was complaining about America. He was saying like when you go to a doctor here, they send you to another doctor and you have to wait for a while to get to that doctor. He's like, well, in India, you just go to one person and they figure everything out for you. Whereas here, it's like you have to wait long periods of time. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound. I mean, like I don't know what works best if it's all questionable. But yeah, man, it's yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
seeing
I don't know either.
down,
There's definitely. I mean, the
ups and
health.
downs.
When I was in the hospital, um, it definitely was stuff. That stuff definitely could change a little bit
Yeah,
with the healthcare industry. There, when I was in the hospital, there was a lot of layers I found out, and there when I was before I was transported back up to my area here to the nursing home. I remember this one nurse came into my room and said, "Oh, you're being discharged today." I was like, "What? Nobody told me." And then I asked which doctor this is discharging me. Never heard. And I forget the guy's name. And and then and then I said I never met the doctor, anything like that. And then so then came back. Nurse came back like the next day and said that you're being discharged. I said, by who? Who's discharging me? Same doctor. And then so long story short, it was like the next day or whatever. I was discharged, but it was through the doctor that I had the one of the doctors that did the surgery on
yeah,
my foot. Surgeries on my foot. It was one of them.
yeah.
So it
That's
was
crazy. Yeah,
crazy.
it's one of those crazy situations. It sounds like where it's. I get it. It's like, what is this nurse talking about? Who is she and who is he? Like what? How do they even know? Like, what do they even know? What do they even hear? Like, it's that's America right now, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed this podcast, but I think we're gonna be closing this one out and like see. I'd definitely like to have you back on, man, and talk more about a lot of things for sure. It'd be cool. Um,
Yeah, I would love to be back
great.
on. Thank you for having me on.
Um, Mac, you
Yep.
still there, dude?
Yeah, I'll let you close this out. I'm
All right.
not really in a talking mood today.
All right, I got you, dude. Yeah, we'll just close this one out like we do closeouts. Thank you for coming on. This is Chadwick. That's Derrek. That's Mech. Spina Bifida is what the topic was kind of today, and we went into all those different things, everything, the hurricane, etc. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace out.